Hey there, everybody. Welcome into a new episode of the Rapala We Are Collegiate Bass podcast. Last week, we spoke with Jackson Roombanis from Top 25 ranked Murray State College. He had the opportunity and privilege to go compete for Team USA and the youth anglers over in South Africa towards the end of last year. As we alluded to during that interview, we were going to have two more guests this week that also made that trip, and we'll get to talk to them about a variety of things, including their current experience in college and competing for Wabash Valley College. Those two anglers are Grace Olson and Emmarie Byers. Go ahead and bring them in right now. Grace, first question coming your way. Just give me an overall synopsis, summary of what it meant for you to be able to go over there and represent our country, the United States of America, in South Africa, competitive fishing.
Honestly, it meant everything. It was such an honor to be able to represent this country and to go over there and win gold against these two countries that last year we went to Zimbabwe. It was not well at all. We placed last, so it was really good revenge. And, yeah, it just felt great getting to represent this country.
Emmarie, yourself, you got to go on behalf of Team USA. While you did not compete, you were there watching your fellow friends and teammates compete, gathering content for social media and different things like that. Just from your perspective, not being a competitor but getting to watch all of them go out and compete, what was that like to while you're there representing Team USA, you got to watch your friends and peers do it as well?
I think one of the coolest parts about it is when I fished in high school, I fished against a lot of the kids that were there. And if I didn't fish against them in high school, I'm currently fishing against them now, and they're all a part of like schools that are on the collegiate trails. So it's just really cool to make those connections and see everybody win gold. And it was an amazing experience and a really cool place.
In talking with Jackson, he I believe he said he won. I don't know how the whole format worked, but I believe he said he won. For Team USA, he was the highest finishing angler in the whole tournament. He said they caught a lot of quality fish and had a good time while they were out there. He did make a note, and I want to be sure to talk to you about it, Grace. I believe you caught a really quality fish out there that week at the lake. Talk about that from cast to catch, everything after. I believe it, I saw it across social media, so I know it made its rounds over there, and it's just a big talked about fish, and on a stage like that to be able to catch it and represent your country, as we've talked about, obviously a really big accomplishment. Just talk about all that real fast.
Yes, for sure. So day one in practice, like 30 minutes into the day, I lost like a 10-pounder at the boat, and I was devastated. I sat there for like 45 minutes. I was crying. I was like, this week is going to be horrible because my previous PB was like six pounds. So it was actually day two of the tournament. Day one of the tournament, I fished with a girl from Zimbabwe, and we found this really good area with like 20 minutes of the day left. So we ended up starting there. Day two, we got to fish with America. So I was with Gabe Morrow. He goes to Murray State College. And we fished together, and it was actually the fifth fish of the day, and it was on a chatterbait. We were up this creek. There was, like, water coming out, fresh water, and I flipped my chatterbait on this lay down, and this 10-pounder came from the back of the tree and, like, exploded on it like a frog. It was crazy. It was the most insane day I have ever had, and yeah, it was awesome. It was a 10-11, to be exact.
That's awesome. That's a great fish. I can only imagine what the adrenaline was like just to catch that fish in a regular recreational setting, and you're out on the weekend having fun, much less being in a competitive stage, an international stage like that. Obviously a really cool catch. Emmarie, for yourself, just talk a little bit more and expand on what the week was like for you and the opportunities you had. As you know, there's a chance you can kind of answer this. Is for myself, when I was in college, I was going to school for broadcast journalism. If I'd had an opportunity to go out and kind of function sort of as an intern and gathering content and doing stuff that I know I wanted to do for a profession in college fishing while still in college, that would have been a great opportunity to speak to the chance you had to be able to do what you did there and maybe the valuable experience it provided you for what you might aspire to do down the road.
Yeah, so it actually tracks almost all the way back to August. Coach Gill reached out to me and said he wanted me to write an article about Drew going to Africa. And so I presented that to my broadcast teacher, and he's like, I think it's a great idea. And I wrote the article, interviewed Drew. Obviously, they won gold. Drew won gold individually, so that was really, really awesome. And I take my article to my teacher, and he jokingly says, I think you need to find your way to Africa whenever your roommate goes. And we brushed it off, whatever. And then Grace comes to me about 2 months later, and she's like, they had a photographer and videographer for one of the other countries last year. I think we should see if you can go with us and be our photographer. And I was like, sure, why not? I mean, experience is experience. And so I end up getting to go to Africa, and we get there, my first time out of the country, and really one of my first times like getting to like photograph fishing on a bigger level than just going with like some people from the team or Grace and sitting in the boat with them. I had my own media boat, and it was just so awesome. I mean, every single day, like the first day, one of the kids caught a 9.5, and we had radios that we were using. So they would be like, Emmarie, we boxed a big one. I'd go over there, take pictures, and then we would just like bounce back and forth all across the lake on both days. But on day 2, when the U.S. fished with the U.S., it was just chaotic. We had our kids get on one spot. There were like 4 boats on that one spot. And so I hopped in with Jackson and Lawson, and Colton Dickerson caught one that was like 8 pounds. And I have a picture of him just holding it straight above his head because he was showing the rest of his teammates. And Braden Tisdale caught a giant fish, and I was able to capture that moment for him because that was his PB. And so just getting to capture these moments for everybody on the team was just really special.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. It's awesome to hear those stories like that, and you never know what experiences you're going to build throughout college and where that might lead down the road, of which we'll kind of allude to that in the question that's going to come later, as we're talking right now with Grace Olson and Emmarie Byers, both competing for Wabash Valley College. We're hearing them there talk about their experiences with Team USA going over to South Africa at the end of last year. In this current season, 25-26 season for the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia, Wabash Valley College is currently ranked 4th. For you, that team that started about 4 to 6 years ago for your school, that's one of the higher rankings, if not the highest ranking achieved by Wabash Valley College in recent history. Grace, real quick, just this season so far, give us a recap of how it's gone and y'all's feelings on exactly how the season's transpired to this point.
Yeah, so far in the fall, we had a really fun season. A lot of the kids on our team had really great finishes with the ACA events and MLF events. Me and my partner, we've done okay. We haven't had like a great finish yet, but we're hoping for this spring to have a really good finish. But I'm super proud of all the kids on the team. There's a lot of us this year. There's actually 30 anglers, and we've all come together as a team and worked together. And yeah, I'm super excited to see how this spring plays out for us.
Emmarie, for yourself, competing this fall, the Bass Pro Shops Big Bass Bash presented by Berkeley and the APCO Collegiate Bass Open for the ACA on the Bass Pro Shops Collegiate Bass Fishing Series had record-breaking fields. The participation is growing throughout collegiate fishing, and the number of college fishing teams out there is in the hundreds. You guys are ranked inside the top 5 for the Bass Pro Shops School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia at the moment. What does it mean to know that you're part of a group of anglers that has accomplished something as monumental as that? You know, the season's not done, but to be there in the top 5 as we're at and just past the halfway point of the season, definitely a good accomplishment so far.
I think the best word to describe it is like special. I think everybody on the team is really special, and Todd is an amazing coach. He just does a great job making sure that we're taken care of on the road while we're at school, getting our schoolwork done. Obviously, on the fishing side of things, we've stayed pretty solid throughout the fall, and we're looking to continue that out throughout the spring. But everybody just works together so well, and it really is like a big family. And so it's a healthy environment when everybody does well, and everybody's really supportive of each other and stuff like that. So it's great.
What is, Grace, the goal here throughout the spring? Kind of looking at crystal ball, and we get to Pickwick Lake in May, and it's towards the end of the season for the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia. Where do you want Wabash Valley College to be, and what needs to transpire over these next 4 to 5 months for y'all to be able to accomplish that?
Yeah, so I think being in the top 5 right now is amazing. It's unbelievable for community college. So I'm really hoping that we keep that up this spring and just keep fishing well and working together. And I think we can do it. I think we can make a top 5, hopefully top 3. That would be awesome. But yeah, we'll see how it goes.
We'll keep keeping an eye on Wabash Valley College and all the other teams competing for that Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia title. Currently transpiring is the first Bassmaster College Series event of 2026. So when that concludes, we'll have another points ranking and points update out to see just where all these teams stack up as we get started here the second half of this season in 2026. Couple more questions left to go here, ladies. One of those being, I want to talk to y'all about being female anglers throughout high school and to college, and just kind of the significance of that, as there are quite a few males that compete in college fishing, and the females to be able to go out there and represent for the lady anglers. Emmarie, yourself, just kind of talk a little bit about maybe if there's been any monumental moment that you've met someone before you that kind of inspired you to be to this point, or possibly has someone witnessed what you're doing as a lady angler and been like, when I grow up as a young girl, I want to be able to do what she's doing, and it's possible for me to do that.
Yeah, I fished against Landry Richardson when I was in high school, and she's a Wabash Valley alum, and she's amazing. She's just a perfect example of a female in the fishing industry. And leading off of that, I would also say Christine Fisher. She just total amazing women in the fishing industry in all aspects, and they're just great role models for any girls in the fishing community.
Grace, similar question for you. Just speak to what it means to be able to represent as a lady angler, as I said, through high school and now into college, and any cool stories that have come from that, or just personal mementos or advice you want to offer up as you've been able to achieve what you have as a lady in the sport.
Yeah, so I grew up with 4 brothers, and I was kind of always introduced to fishing like at a very young age. I was always around it. It was really the only way that I could go out with my brothers and do something together, you know? So that's how I kind of came about fishing. But I had so my brother's girlfriend, she fished with my brother throughout high school, and then they went to Southwestern Michigan College and then transferred to Wabash last year. And just like watching her fish and watching her passion, Delaney Platt, it really just inspired me to get into the sport. And there's definitely some challenges that you'll face being the only girl. People just look at you differently. That's just what's going to happen because it's a male-dominated field right now. But I think the sport for women fishing is definitely growing, and I think it's going to continue to grow. So anything that I would just say is, like, keep your head down and don't even, like, if somebody says something to you or makes a comment, like, just ignore it. Like, people are going to talk no matter what, so it doesn't even matter. Just keep fishing and doing your thing, and you'll go far, for sure.
Definitely great advice, and Emmarie, I was going to offer up a similar question to you, so we'll piggyback on that there. Anything that you would say if you're yourself at age 8 or 10 was listening to this and you wanted to be involved in the sport or the industry as a whole, the sport of fishing, what might your advice be, as well as Grace just offered, to keep your head down and keep working hard? Probably something to the similar tune, but what might you tell someone who's listening, a young girl or lady angler that wants to get involved in the sport or is questioning, can I do this? What might you tell them right now too?
You can do this. I was looked down upon a lot throughout junior high and high school by other kids on the team, and definitely overlooked because there were male anglers on the team, and I was the first person from my high school to sign to go anywhere for fishing, and I was a female. And there were just a lot of barriers I had to overcome throughout my past couple of years, I'd say. But now in the last couple of months that I've been at Wabash, it's just crazy to look back and see how differently I'm treated now than I was throughout the past couple of years in the fishing industry.
One last question apiece here. Looking into the future for both of you, I'm going to ask kind of a similar question. Grace, what do you see for yourself, or what do you want to achieve 5, 10, 15 years from now, whether it's being a professional, being involved in the industry? Talk a little bit about what you want to do and how college fishing has maybe opened some doors that could allow you to do that down the road.
Yeah, so I'm not 100% sure on what I want to do yet. I would love to work in the fishing industry, but I also have always, since I was a little kid, I've always been really interested in law enforcement. So right now I'm really debating on being a conservation officer. kind of combining my love for the outdoors and law enforcement all into one, so I can keep, kind of in the industry in somewhat way. But I think college fishing has just helped me a ton. Just be outdoors and learn a lot, and go all over the country, all over the world actually. It's been amazing, and I hope that whatever I choose to do, it's something to do with fishing and the outdoors, because that's what I love.
Emmarie, same question for you. We've already kind of talked about it earlier and said we'd come back to it now, but going to school for what you're studying, having the opportunity to have already applied some of those skills and learn it in the field, expand on that as it pertains to, do you want to be a professional angler? Do you want to carry the communications and broadcast journalism route into your profession? Expand on that and then talk about it some real quick. And like we said with Grace, we kind of already know the answer because we've talked about it, but speak to how college fishing's maybe helped you to get to where you're at and to be able to achieve what you want to later on.
Definitely with journalism and communications, experience is key. And so my goal throughout college fishing is just to get experience, not only with fishing, but media, and just paying attention to like what's posted and what kind of content we need to create. And Todd's given me the ability to make TikToks for the team and produce some stuff for our Instagram, as well as working hands-on with some of the kids and their own personal sponsors. But my goal is to end up working in the fishing industry with media or writing, and I really like doing photography stuff. So something with that, hopefully.
Great answers by both of y'all. Definitely big aspirations, and at the stage of life that you're in, going through college, you're figuring out what it is you want to do, and wish y'all the best of luck as y'all attempt to achieve that and work towards what it is that you want to earn here down the road. As it pertains to this current season, best of luck to y'all as you continue to go out and compete. Stay safe while you're out there, and we look forward to seeing you at our first event here in just a couple months.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having us on.
Yes.
Welcome to Minnow King. How can I help you?
Everything looks good. I'm friggin' starving, man. Been spawning all morning.
Ugh, TMI, bro. What do you want?
I'll take a Crush City freeloader and gizzard shad.
Anything to drink.
Water.
Pull ahead, please. Welcome to Minnow King.
We're gonna have what he's had.
Yeah, throw me in a net BLT too.
Pull ahead, please.
Calm down. Quit feeding him so much.
Oh, yeah, man, I'm trying to, man. If you
overfeed him, he's going to hide under a log.